It's Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more, worldwide TV network, women on TV.tv, iTube 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, and all the platforms around the world. So today's a special show because I've been looking forward to Michelle. She sent me a nice message and I thought that was really nice of her. It's very elegant. And so, Michelle, tell us where you're coming from and what you're doing. And I like what you sent me earlier this morning on your book.
So thank you very much, Brian, for having me. It's an honor to be here, to be perfectly honest. I come from Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. And in, well, my high school years, I wrote a children's book, which was for a class that I was taking. And my job there was to simply write the book, read it to some small children, and that was basically it. That's what I did. I created this book, read it to small kids, forgot about it, and didn't do anything else with it. The book itself is called It's Okay to Be Pink. And it's about this little guy here, Bob the Glob. And it's based on my trials as a child being teased growing up. And so I was teased for a number of things. So first of all, I was a fat kid. That doesn't go over well when you're little. I went to 5 different public schools before I graduated to high school because my parents moved around so much. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm always the new kid. And then on top of that, I was a smart child and I was asked to skip grade 3 and asked to skip grade 6. Now, my parents didn't let me do that because they didn't want me to be socially ostracized for being younger, but in a higher grade. So I was bored a lot in school because school came easy, but the social part didn't. I sucked there. Yeah, I made friends, but you know, you're always trying to make friends when you're always the new kid. Yeah. So I would just get into a place and just get comfortable, and then we would move for whatever reason, and there were always various reasons. So not that that's a bad thing. In the long run, it made me a better human being because I've dealt with a lot of situations. So I initially wrote the book because it was a school project, but it is based on me being teased as a kid, and that stuck with me my entire life. Fast forward till now, and I was cleaning out a back room to turn it into an office. And I found the original text to that book. And I thought, what the heck are you doing here? So I opened it up and read it, and I bawled. I realized this was a dream I had had for a very long time, and I did nothing with it. And now is the time.
But you know, what's great about that story is that all of a sudden it manifested itself to come back up. Perfect timing, right?
Yeah, exactly. And everything happens at its own pace, at its own time, when it's supposed to. And I know that now, but I mean, back then, you know, I didn't. So I've done a couple of things with this book that are different, I think, than a lot of people. First of all, it's written in rhyme. So all the characters' names rhyme, everything rhymes. I was a big geek in high school, and I even belonged to a Dr. Seuss fan club. I hate to say it, but I did. Hey, he was one of my heroes growing up, man.
Yeah, but you know what? Dr. Seuss is still relevant to this day. Yeah. It's like he's made a comeback, but he never went anywhere. I think that's great.
Exactly. Yeah, you know, that's just something that came to me. It's just the way that I wrote it when I wrote it. But yeah, it's kind of cute. Adults like reading it because they like the funny sounding names and the way the rhymes are. Kids learn from it because we all learn better in a rhyme. If you don't believe me, think of your favorite song, comes to the top of your head, boom, right? But if I asked you some theory about in algebra or calculus, you'd be like, what? You wouldn't remember it as much.
I would be,
Um,
because I was terrible at math. You were talking about school. I was that person. I would have been probably a genius, but I sucked at math because nobody took the time to really. I needed more care, not in the group thing.
yes,
But if you taught me one on one, I could pick it up. And so these
right.
days, I'm good at picking everything up. And I think back to when I was in math. If someone took that extra time, I would be great at math. I would enjoy it. So as you were saying, our last show was about anti-bullying. Almost everybody that I know, every major celebrity was bullied in a certain way.
Yes.
Now we know that. Talk about that. So it wasn't just you, and more people can relate to that. And we're all about anti-bullying.
Yeah, absolutely. So the book itself comes with websites attached to it, so that kids and adults, can go in and find out more resources about bullying. So some signs to look for in young children that you might not be, aware of. So young kids who can't necessarily voice what's going on, or too scared to voice what's going on, often that bullying comes out in behavior. And it's either they're
Yeah.
not eating properly, or they're not sleeping, or whatever. And there's a whole host of different side effects that your kids could be exuding if they are being bullied. Here in Canada, we have, anti-bullying, zero tolerance laws, so to speak,
Yeah.
in schools, and it's still going on, because now it's different types of bullying. So now we've got
Yeah.
cyberbullying in there for
Yeah.
older
Yeah.
kids and adults. Oh dear gosh, talk to an adult who's been on Facebook, who hasn't been shamed over something because they posted an opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. That's still bullying. It's still going on. And that's what I'm really trying to get young kids. That's who the book is directed at, is younger children. Okay, so kindergarten to like 6, 7, 8 years old, to learn that when you bully someone, it has an effect.
Mm-hmm.
And in this book, you can kind of see, it's only a couple of pages long, right? Because it's a kid's book, but you can kind of see the little effect that it has on the main character and what that character feels. Because we have to start telling children at a younger age that it's okay to feel this. It's okay to feel the way you are, to let somebody know you're feeling the way you are if something bad is happening. So I wanted to provide resources for children and adults, which are on the website. There are activities, things for the kids to do on the website. They can reach out to me, they can talk to me, they can tell me what's going on. I list where all of my information comes from. I was a social service worker when I was working, and so I have various experience all
Oh
over
yeah.
there. Plus then my own individual stuff, which I haven't even gotten into, because that would be a whole other show. Maybe you
Talk
will.
talk about this. Hey, I don't care. It's about the story. It's very, very important. You got to send me a book because, again, we were talking about it, and it
Absolutely.
turns out Lillian Garcia, the former WWE announcer, current MMA announcer, she was bullied because of her name coming in from Colombia, moving to South Carolina. Vincent Spanano, certified nose, who creates all the fragrances for Jennifer Lopez, he was bullied. Everybody on our show was bullied. And I go, it's not a coincidence. So your book is timely. Talk about this. You're not trying, for one, you are doing, you are creating. You've come back to something that you did. And then, so give your website, because this is really, really important.
So it's bobtheglob.com or bobtheglob.ca, all one word. And you'll find a number of different things. I'm adding a blog section to it as well, so that as new information comes in for me and what have you, I let other people know. There's going to be an email sign-up list where you can hop on and sign up, so that anytime that anything new comes out regarding bullying, you're going to be notified, but you'll only be notified when it's new and when it hops onto the website. The other thing is too, this is how the universe works, okay? So it's okay to be pink. I don't wear pink. I like, pink's not my color. It was just the color that I picked because it worked really well in rhymes, and it was kind of neat, you know, like if everybody else is blue, what color you're going to be if you're not blue. Well, in Canada, this book drops September 28th. October is anti-bullying month in Canada, and the color that represents it is pink. Now, I wrote this book in 1989. I didn't know that there was going to be an anti-bullying anything then.
That's great.
Wonderful is that?
You know, right? What else? You know what else is wonderful? It's 2 days after my birthday.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So this is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to send me a book. And have you made your shirts or t-shirts or hats yet for that?
I haven't yet, but I'm going to. Yes, we're in process.
Yeah, you need to. You know why? You gotta make a shirt. You gotta send it to me so I can wear it on my Tuesday night live show.
Absolutely, I will do that. Absolutely.
No, that'll be fun. Plus, it gets your creative juices going in a different way, obviously, too. So
the other thing I'm doing as well is every single book that is ever sold, a portion of the sales is going towards children's charities from me, because I think it's important to give back. The book is not about me, really. It's based on me, but the book is about helping. It's about giving back, and it's about learning how you should treat people and how people should treat you. And not everybody is bad, right?
Right.
You know, some people treat us wrongly, but there's a reason why they're doing that.
Well, and we all know that those people who were bullied, they were bullied themselves, so they came from a bad upbringing.
Exactly. And that's what they know, and so that's what they're spreading. You know, I came from a loving family, and I came from a giving family, and I came from a family where it doesn't matter how much you have of anything, you give to other people first. I mean, that's what you do. So it's really important to me that I give back to children's charities. This particular charity I chose this time is the Kids Helpline here in Canada. And the reason I did that is because I used to work for one of those eons ago, a crisis hotline, and we didn't know who we were getting on the other end of the phone. When you answered it, it could have been a simple situation, or it could have been a very, very traumatic situation, and you just never knew. And kids need to talk, right? Like they need a safe place. I want Bob the Glob to be that character that kids reach out to, like, he's going to help me, he's going to make me feel better. You know, I see him as a stuffed animal, I see him as a movie down the road, I see him bigger and better and being like a series of books, right? I'm not stopping at just one. There's so much more that has to be said. There's so much more that has to get out there.
Well, you're too intelligent to stop at one. I see you like doing 3 or 5. See, so this is where you skipped. Now you're skipping through all different types of universes and on planet Earth with your books that your future books that are coming up. I already see what you're kind of doing.
That's cool. I do. I see it really, really clearly. You know, like I want Bob to be the next big children's character. I really do. I want, because I find, first of all, my animator, this is what I did. I hired a friend of mine to be my illustrator. So I didn't go through the publishing company or anything like that. I chose someone that I wanted. And when it came to everything, the guy that does my website, he's local here in town. He was laid off. So I said, well, if you can design websites, he's like, well, yeah, I was a graphic designer and this is what I did. I'm hired. I mean, you're local. This is the work you do to begin with. Why can't I help you? You know, like I buy my groceries at a small local grocery store. I try to help people around my immediate area as much as humanly possible, because we got to give each other a leg up, man. You know?
So what's it like to be Michelle Lee in Canada?
Sorry?
I said, what is it like to be Michelle Lee in Canada?
Well, it's fun. I think I'm a rather fun person.
I know you are. So being that fun person that you are, what kind of music, what kind of movies do you like?
Oh, let's see. I'm not a romantic comedy kind of person. I'm more of an action adventure, um, smash 'em up, bang 'em up kind of Godzilla freak kind of person as far as movies are concerned. um,
Okay.
I like to be entertained when I go to a movie. If I want deep thought, I read a book.
Right.
And that's just the way that I've been. Like, even when I was little, I would take off, go into my room, and I'm either writing or I'm reading. Like, that's just what I did. I loved it. So, and now I'm kind of into all kinds of things that are alternative. Like, I'm deeply fascinated with law of attraction. I'm currently taking thinking into results, and I'm almost actually done that course, and I love it. It's the only thing that's ever got me up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's
On a
funny.
regular basis. But I do love learning, and I love immersing myself in different things. If I could have been a career student and just gone to school all the time to learn, I would have. So
you're that teacher who's not that teacher, but who really is a teacher.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Exactly.
Well, that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yes, I agree.
I kind of see you working more with kids too.
Sorry, you cut out.
Oh, I see. I kind of see you working more with kids also.
Oh, yeah. Me too, because they're the foundation, right? There's what we're building on, what we're building our future on. I know there's been a lot of studies out lately that have shown that children that develop emotional intelligence at a younger age become more of a successful adult in the future, because they're learning earlier how to handle situations, right? So it's not all just about feelings that you have in a given situation. It's about how to handle the situation too, right? So if we can teach them that emotional intelligence and when to clue in that, yeah, I feel this way for this reason, and pinpoint what that reason is, they'll become more well-rounded adults and happier, healthier, better people.
This time
And
last year,
I can do that. Yes, exactly. And if I can do that with a cute little character that's kind of funny and round, kind of like me, well then, hey, why not?
imagine how much you would do to help all of those people and all those people who were bullied, because people still deal with a lot of those issues. They don't go away.
No, they don't. No, they last a lifetime. I can pinpoint for you exactly, where I was when something happened to me as a child being bullied, more than I can something good that happened to me as a child. Like that's what happens. You carry it with you. It's like grief. You carry it with you once you've been seriously hurt. So the younger we can do this, and the more we can get out there that kindness is the reason to be around, spread that around, not hate. Like, my book itself, yes, it's for kids, but what I'm finding is that everybody relates to it, because everybody's had that situation. And you've just named some pretty famous people who have been bullied. They're strong, they're big, they're tough, but they went on with life, yet they can still remember being bullied. That's the thing. I have all this wealth, all this fame, all this whatever. I've achieved everything, but I'm still that little kid that's been hurt. So we have to start dealing with it at an earlier age if possible. And if you can't get to it early, when you do get to it, work on it, try to resolve it, talk it out. There are things you can do to propel yourself forward so that you're not constantly stuck in bullying mode. And we have to also remember the person that hurt you was a hurt person.
Absolutely.
Hurt people, right? So
Absolutely.
I don't begrudge the people that did whatever they did to me in the past. That was then, you know. I wish them well, actually. And I say to people who I know have been hurt, love, whether they know it or not, to try to help them out in their day so that they're not so stressed. They don't know I'm doing it. That's okay. They don't need to know. It's not going to change their life necessarily, but I know it's doing good for me to send out good to them, not evil, but good, because you get back what you send out. So
that's right. It's all about cause and effect.
Exactly.
Hey, what's the AR part in your book going to be?
Pardon me?
What's the augmented reality going to be in your book? AR.
Oh, yes, there will be an AR component, correct. It'll be on the page, the Bob alone page, and it's going to have Bob standing, pop up on your phone, and he's going to give you a little bit of blurb about, bullying, a little bit about the book, and then direct you to the website below, where you can just simply press a button on your phone and it'll direct you right to the website. You can go from there.
So talk about this. Why did you choose Hasmark? Because I love that company. I love everybody there.
They're wonderful. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I took Peggy's course on the Complete Author. And when I was talking to her, I had mentioned at the time that I was looking for an illustrator and I didn't know anything about anybody. And she said, I want you to contact Judy at Hasmark and just here's her email and just talk to her. And I thought, okay, fine, I did. So I emailed a few things and what have you. And then I researched the company a little bit, waiting for her to get back to me. And within, I don't know, a couple of hours, Judy said that she would really love to talk to me face to face. Could we do a Zoom? And I thought, oh yeah, okay. So a couple of days later, we do a Zoom, and immediately upon doing that Zoom, I felt like, oh my gosh, you're my people. Like I just wanted to reach through the screen and hug her. I just wanted to, oh my gosh, you get it. Like I didn't have to explain anything. They were totally professional. They were hilarious and absolutely made me feel like I was a member of their family before anything had even happened. We were just talking at this point. Completely professional people. I've had a couple of situations with the book. Of course, I'm a first-time author, so I don't know how this process works. So I'm constantly messaging back and forth going, don't want to bug it, but don't want to bug it, but because I'm new. But I love what Peggy said to me the other day. She said, Michelle, you got to remember this. Your first book is always the hardest, but only the first book. Because then after that, you know what you're doing and everything goes along smoothly. So Hasmark has been incredible to work with. I can't even envision going anywhere else. Like I just can't. They're beautiful people. They're like family.
What were you doing this time last year? And what do you want people to know about who Michelle Lee is?
Oh boy. This time last year, I was in a very rough situation. So I have a number of ailments that have stopped me from working. And I was noticing that the only way I was describing myself was describing me by my ailments. So, hi, I'm Michelle. I have rheumatoid arthritis and that kind of thing. That's what I was identifying with. It was like I lost who I am. I'm divorced. I care for my elderly mother. And of course, I still try to care for myself as well. She lives in her home. I live in my home. So it's back and forth looking after her. And there were days where that was tough. Fast forward to now, and that's not even on my radar. That's just not there. I feel like I've found who I really am by coming out as an author. And I know that sounds weird, but this is the first job title I have had that I love.
You know, once you said job author, I'm like, that sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of a, what do you call that? An authorpreneur, not an entrepreneur, an authorpreneur.
No, I like that. I think that's great. Now, congratulations on that. That's important.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's funny, doing the TIR course, we learned that what I knew this all along, but what you think about, you bring about, right? So
yes, yes.
You
were focusing on the lack of what you were going through, and then you switched it around.
Yes, yes. So I study the law of attraction a lot, and the other 7 natural laws and what have you, and I've always just been fascinated with that. So I'm learning now how powerful of a creator I actually am. About 3 weeks ago, I had said to a friend in passing, you know, I really think that I want my job title suddenly to be like author/writer, and left it at that. 2 days after saying that, I got a phone call that said, hey, would you mind writing 2 short stories for these 2 places? I'm like, yeah, sure, no problem. Guess I can add writer to the list, you know, like, that was quick.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So it's something new for me to be going into the workforce now, as opposed to from being out of it for so long. But finding what it is that you love, that you enjoy, that brings you happiness, that's what you need to cling on to. I've been writing stories since I was 8 years old. I'd write them, I'd give them to friends, or when I was younger, or I would write them, read them, burn them, and then write another one. I don't know why the heck I didn't think to keep them, but I just didn't keep them. The only thing I kept was this book itself. So It's Okay to Be Pink, I think, was destined to be here, you know?
I love the title. So we got about 3 minutes left. Do this. Give your social media links, where the book is coming from, and how people can reach out to you.
Okay, part of that I heard, part of that you cut out.
Oh.
So social media. As far as that's concerned, I have a Facebook business page, Michelle Lee Author. And then I have the websites at the moment, bobtheglob.com, bobtheglob.ca. I am going to be working on a Twitter account for Bob as well. I haven't quite got there yet, but I am going to be doing that. And any other media, social media that happens, I will definitely send your way, no question whatsoever.
And then how can people reach out to you besides the website? Because you're going to be encouraging other people now, right? You do realize that, right?
Yes, I realize that. With the Facebook business page, Michelle Lee Author, that's the easiest way to reach me right now. I do also have an email, bobtheglobBooks@gmail.com.
All right, Michelle, I want to thank you for coming on Movie Reviews and More. And thank you for your story, because like I said, I can't wait to get one of your future shirts and or hat.
Yes, yes, shirt, hat, whatever you want. Absolutely. Thank you, Brian. This was an absolute pleasure.
Because I like wearing other people's things, their brands on my shows. That's why.
Awesome. You rock.
So with this, I got to always say this. If you see somebody without a smile, Michelle, you can relate to this. I can relate to this. Please give them one of yours, because the world needs it, right?
Yes, they do.
I'm Brian Sebastian.
Many more.
And we will see you next week.